I'm Anita Huberman. I'm CEO of the Surrey Board of Trade. And thank you so much for attending today's Networking at Noon, sponsored by S+F Benefits. And they are our Chamber of Commerce Board of Trade group insurance provider. And I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory of our Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Kwantlen-Katzie, Semiahmoo, and Tsawwassen First Nations. The Surrey Board of Trade, as you know, is a not-for-profit. We are one of the top 10 largest chambers of commerce boards of trades in Canada, and there are 450 of us, and we're part of a global network. We also have an international chamber of commerce in Paris, France. Our whole mandate is to support business, bring business into Surrey through a diversified service portfolio of being your concierge of connections, government advocacy, instigating change at all levels of government, providing global business connections for local businesses through our Surrey International Trade Center, and saving you time and saving you money and providing professional development opportunities so that you and your team and your business can grow. Now, I wanted to just indicate a little bit about the pandemic. We know the vaccine is on its way, and my friend and colleague Tomas, I'm sure is going to talk a little bit about that. But certainly, you know, the pandemic has been a challenge and an opportunity for all of us. And we have been there at ground zero, being that concierge of connections, having BC's only pandemic response, rapid response business center. We are one of 9 organizations that sit on the Premier's Economic Recovery Task Force. We have a direct line into his office and into speaking with him, as well as the Minister of Economic Recovery for British Columbia. We have a direct line into the Prime Minister's office to do the same thing, to identify gaps and opportunities for businesses and for the economy during the pandemic. And we started a Surrey Economic Recovery Coalition as well with the City of Surrey that includes many business stakeholders and organizations. So we're there for you during this time and beyond. And Surrey is going to be the largest city in British Columbia very soon. We are an opportunity city, and we all need to work together to ensure it stays that way. Events like this simply wouldn't happen without sponsorship support. We ourselves had to pivot all of our 150 different events to a digital realm, except for our golf tournament, which is coming up later this year. And I'm so thankful for the sponsorship and partnership by S+F Benefits. And they're going to speak very shortly about what it is that they do. But I just wanted to mention before they speak that never before has the topic of employee benefits and employee support been so important than this pandemic. And it really is a value proposition, a retention tool for your team, for your business, for your organization. So it's now my pleasure to welcome John Wortman, our group benefits consultant for S+F Benefits, to speak for a moment. John.
Okay, thank you, Anita. Good afternoon, everyone. This is different, not what I'm used to, but cool. It's kind of interesting to see how we can adapt and grow as things change. We have no option, but yeah, thanks for giving me a moment here to talk a little bit about S+F Benefits. I'm one of the partners here. I've been with this company 16 years now. I love it. I love what I do. I love helping out small, medium-sized businesses in Surrey, and it's just a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to be able to work with the Chamber of Commerce Group Insurance Plan and the great team at the Surrey Board of Trade and all that they do to support the community, our business, and businesses just like us. It is a real blessing that I'm thankful for every day. And you know, we're finance guys. That's what we do. And Par, put your hand up. There, Par works with us too. He's one of our advisors. And I'm a certified financial planner. There's a lot that we do, from wealth management, personal life, disability, and critical insurance. But our bread and butter, the main thing we do is group benefits for companies of all sizes, and primarily small and medium-sized businesses in the Lower Mainland, Surrey, and all over. As I mentioned, we are brokers, so we're contracted with all of the insurance companies out there, just like anyone can. But what gives us a leg up on our competition is the chamber plan, and that is available to all members of the Surrey Board of Trade. And it is just a fantastic plan, and I want to focus on that because that is our number one product. I just love working with them. They're way easier to deal with than any other insurance company. But group benefits, as Anita said, group benefits are very important for supporting health, mental health, physical health, attracting employees. We're coming up on labor shortages here. It's a great way to attract and retain and keep your employees loyal. The chamber plan, just like any other benefits plan, you can customize the plan to fit your needs and your budget, from things like extended health and dental, long and short-term disability, programs to support mental health, for employee assistance programs, for clinical counseling. There are business assistance service that are built into the plan for all companies, that give you access to lawyers and accountants and human resource consultants. Gives you free access. It doesn't replace those professionals in our lives, but it provides a consulting to help you in a pinch. There's also group RSPs, pension plans that you can build, which are fantastic for employee satisfaction, loyalty, and retention. But of course, there's lots of different ways to customize it to fit your budget. We're happy to do a full customized quote to see if a plan that would work for you compared to your current program, or if you're new to the idea of benefits, just explore what these things actually cost and what you get. We're happy to help you through that. But I just want to talk about renewals, because we are diving headfirst into our renewal season, where our entire block across the country, the chamber plan, renews every year in April 1. And this is what makes the plan different than the competition, is that you're part of a pool. There's over 35,000 companies all grouped together. And what that does is for most companies, you can use it as much as you want, and they're not going to, you're not going to be charged more than the other company. We're all in this together to share the costs, to be part of the largest single plan in the country, so that we get really good quality rates, really good quality coverages that aren't going to have huge increases year after year after year. Another reason, and so the size of the plan is what makes this possible. But another reason is that it's run as a nonprofit, which is kind of an oxymoron when you think of insurance companies, but they reinvest all of the profit back into the plan for the benefit of the members. And their number one goal is client satisfaction, because the more clients that are in the pool, the bigger it is, the better it is for everyone. So they want to keep everyone happy, instead of paying dividends to shareholders. And this year's renewal is one of the lowest we've had in a decade, the average being just 2.3% in BC, which is very low. The average inflation that they're budgeting is 3.8% for health, 1.5% for dental increase. When we look at the street, when we look at for-profit plans, the averages are about 11% for health and 7% for dental. So which isn't a surprise difference when you're looking at for-profit and not-for-profit. Anyway, so that we love the pooling of the plan. We love that it's not for profit. They care about people, and they're really heavily investing in this year's renewal, because they know that there's a lot of hurting businesses out there in the pandemic. So they're keeping it as low as possible. Another quickly want to touch on two other things that they do that I'm applauding them for is, on your benefit plans, you typically have coverage for massage and chiropractor and physiotherapy and all of those specialties and practitioners. Chamber plan as of January 1 added on clinical counselors. So not just psychologists, but clinical counselors. And without raising the rack rates for everyone, it was just an add-on. It was the right thing to do. And to support mental health is so important right now. Also, even though the EAP, which provides clinical counseling, they were taking a terrible loss on that. It's being used a lot. They kept the rates the same for everyone because it's just important right now. So some of those initiatives that they're doing, keeping the renewal low, adding on support for mental health at no additional cost is just, some of the things I applaud them for, and kind of illustrates the difference of working with a nonprofit plan compared to a for-profit. Anyways, that's probably my time. Oh yeah, I'm getting here notice, and I had a few questions. The minimum number of people to set up a chamber plan is one. The only plan that can do that, because of the pooling. Yeah, so if you had any questions, we're here, Par, me, we can reach out afterwards. Thank you for your time. S+F Group Benefits. Thanks, Anita.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Par, for your sponsorship. And if you could put your contact information in the chat function, and people can connect with you afterwards. And just to note that this session is being recorded, and we do send out all of our recordings of our events out through our very extensive social media network. So to ensure that more people can get to know and connect with you. Now, for all of you, just a reminder to also type in your contact information and any feedback in the chat function of the Zoom technology. And we're going to start networking, because even though we're in the middle of the pandemic, we still need to network and connect with each other. So I need you to get a pen and paper out, or by electronic means, keep track of those that are going to introduce themselves. So as I call your name, you're going to introduce yourself. Within 45 seconds, you're going to state your company name, your name, and what it is that you do, and one industry that you want to connect with. And even though you may not see someone that you want to connect with right here on screen, we all have an extensive network, and the accountability is on you to follow up after this event with each other. That's the accountability, and that is the only way that networking is going to work during the pandemic. So I urge all of you to participate actively during this session and also beyond, because we're all in this together to support each other. So let's begin. Let's start with, actually, Par, I'm going to get you to speak first. Par Bassin.
Okay, great. Thanks, Anita. And hey, thanks, John. That was a great information session there. So yes, my name is Par. I work with John, and we're a part of S+F Group Benefits. And we are a group benefits provider. And we also will do a review. If somebody already has a current plan, we'll do no obligations, complimentary review of their current plan. And what are we looking for? We're looking for small, medium, large-sized businesses that need support in their group benefits, even just stabilizing their benefits plan. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Par. Next is Greg Muirhead, and after that is Julia Fezel. Greg.
Thanks, Anita. Yes, my name is Greg Muirhead, and the company I'm with is Ashar Communications, and we do communications within an office, such as your telephone systems. We also do cell phone packages. So one of the areas I'd like to start working on is insurance brokers. So maybe Par and John, I should give you a call one of these days. Thanks.
Julia, and then Deborah, Jen.
Awesome. You said my last name right, which is big plus. No one ever gets it right. So yeah, my name is Julia. I work for Veza Global, and we're in equity, diversity, and inclusion company, and embedding those EDI practices into everyday life for organizations. And what I do is I'm the digital marketing coordinator. So anything that's outward facing, usually goes through me. So that's what I do with Veza. And the industry, I guess, that I'm kind of more interested in is probably finance because I have no idea about it. So definitely something I would love to learn more about. Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah and then Mark Taylor.
Hi, my name is Deborah Jans. I'm with Impact Marketing International, and we help organizations find their ideal customers across the country or around the world. We are looking to work with an accounting firm who is not just based locally, that wants to work with organizations across the country to help them find their ideal audience.
Thank you, Deborah. Mark and then Ramona.
There
Unmute.
you go. Yeah, I'm off now. Hi, Anita. Thank you. My name is Mark Taylor. I'm president and co-founder of Taser Technology. We are primarily a technology consulting company solutions provider, specializing primarily right now anyway in the security side of the technology business, data security, cybersecurity, as well as security from remote access and workers who are working off premise. Because number one, 3/4 of all ransomware attacks are on small businesses, and small businesses primarily are typically not prepared to deal with that type of attack and the issues associated with it. So that's what we're focusing on right now, but we can help you with any technology challenges that you may face.
Thank you, Mark. Ramona and then Tomas.
Hello, good morning, or is it afternoon already? Ramona Captain, I'm president of the White Rock Surrey organization called CARP. We're Canada's largest organization that advocates for Canadians as we get older. You don't have to be a certain age to join, nor do you have to be retired. We work diligently for better pensions, better health care. We're definitely against ageism. I'm also on the board of the Chamber of Commerce in White Rock, South Surrey, and I'm a candidate in the next election with Surrey Connect. Thank you very much, all. Good to see you. I'm a returning member with the Surrey Board of Trade, so very happy to be here again.
Thank you, Ramona. Tomas and then go to promotions.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Tomas Reyes. I am the executive director for a nonprofit also in the community, the Surrey North Delta Division of Family Practice. We represent basically 95% of the family physicians in our community, basically in the areas of Surrey and North Delta, except for South Surrey and White Rock. And I mean, we are building kind of it's like connections with our business community because we believe that it's important, and physicians ultimately are also business owners. They all have their practices and they are part of this business community as well, and so it is important that they are connected, and so in a way we are representing that connection. So not necessarily a particular industry, I mean probably construction, but in general with all the business community.
Thank you, Tomas. I love the ocean in your background.
Idea is an ideal goal rather than reality.
Yes. Go to promotions and then Sammy from Fusion.
Oh, thanks, Anita. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. I'm the owner of Go-To Promotions, your one-stop shop for useful, unique, and unforgettable marketing and branding logoed items. I've been in business for just over 2.5 years, and all industries can benefit from what I have to offer. We were definitely, before COVID, working with a lot of construction companies and hats and sweatshirts and logos and t-shirts and pens, and then COVID hit, and now we're hand sanitizers and masks and all that sort of stuff that has changed our world. But we certainly would love to spend the time and go over kind of what you've done with marketing materials in the past and how we can maybe make them stand out a little bit better, and try and look for sustainable products that you can put your logo on to help save the environment during these times. So I've got my contact information there. Please reach out. I'm open to any industry and talking to anybody.
Thank you. Sammy and then Frank Flood.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sami Gowie, the director of music and media company Fusion Presents. I'm also the manager at the Surrey Board of Trade Music City Center, where we're dedicated to helping make Surrey a music city by growing their music economy. So on that note, I'm interested in connecting with companies that could use our artists' original music in their content media on their social media or YouTube or advertising. So that's what I'm interested in. Thank you.
Thank you. And just a reminder, put your contact information in the chat function if you haven't already. So Frank and then Nate.
Thanks, Anita. Hello, everybody. My name is Frank Flood. I've the honor and pleasure of being Ireland's first Consul General in Vancouver. And as part of COVID-19, we're reaching out more on the trade side and doing more on the trade side. And of course, we look to Surrey. So we have Anita as our guest speaker on our first Thursday in March. And we're working with SBOT to have a webinar on Tuesday, the 16th of March from the Irish Canada Business Association with Surrey Board of Trade. And the whole idea, and please reach out to me, is if you're interested in expanding your business and growing your business or growing your links with Ireland and the EU, because Ireland is the soft entry point into the EU. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Anita. I wasn't sure how my 45 seconds would go.
Great job. Thank you. Nate and then Pat. Please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're well. I'm Nate with the Neil Squire Society. I work for a nonprofit in Burnaby, and we operate throughout Canada. But the program that I promote in British Columbia is the Work BC Assistive Technology Services Program. So you may be familiar with Work BC, where if you're unemployed, you can get help getting a job, or if you're an employer, you need talent, you can get access to employees. We have funding for assistive technology. So if you know somebody with a barrier caused to their employment or self-employment caused by a disability, chronic pain, or an old injury, we can fund ergonomics, visual aids for people losing their vision, hearing aids, which is big because there's no coverage in BC. I'm Nate from the Neil Squire Society, a little technology, a lot of independence, and I've put a bunch of information in the chat if you would like further information. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Pat and then Sue.
Hi all, I'm Pat. I'm with Fusion Presents. I'm assistant to Sami Gowie, and Sami already filled you in on what we're looking for to meet up with people who are interested in supporting our musicians with their music. Yeah, so glad to meet everybody.
Sue and then Tess.
Good afternoon, I'm Sue and I own Live Well Exercise Clinic in Guildford. And so we're an ultra private gym and we help people take control of their lives so they can live a healthier lifestyle. And our focus is primarily on people who are in the aging process or have chronic illnesses, and we customize exercises for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Tess and then Terry. Just need to unmute.
Did I actually do that? I did. I hit enter on the chat instead of on the mute button. It's so nice to see you all. Anita, you look fabulous. I love that we're both wearing red today. My name is Taz. I'm the community engagement partner at Bromwich & Smith. We are licensed insolvency trustees. So we offer the only federally legislated debt forgiveness programs for Canadians that are feeling really overwhelmed by debt. And my mission is really to normalize the conversation of debt. You're not alone. You're not a failure, and there is hope to rebuild. And I would love to connect with some amazing, accountants, bookkeepers, anyone that helps people through the divorce process. I am looking for some mobile bankers as well. If you know a mobile banking expert, I'd love to connect with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Taz. Terry and then Hassan.
Hi, everyone. Terry McCaig. I work with the BC Cancer Foundation. For those of you that don't know, we're the fundraising partner of BC Cancer. So I'm new to my position. I'm the Director of Development for the Fraser Health Region in my second week and just starting. But yeah, the stats aren't good, right? When we see what's happening here in the next 10 years with cancer. So the Fraser Health Region is going to lead the province in the number of new cancer cases. It's going to increase by 35% in the Fraser Health Region. And how our connection to Surrey, which I think is a fit, as most of you probably heard last summer, the provincial government announced the second Surrey hospital that will be coming along, and it will have a huge cancer center as part of that. So nice to meet everyone, and we'll talk later.
Thank you, Terry. Congratulations on your new role. Hassan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hassan. I'm an employer liaison and job coach at Newton Work BC. We are at Work BC. We can help the employer to find a fit candidates for them. Also, we have the wage subsidy program, which is we can support the employer with 50% of the wages up to 6 months. If you need anything, I'll put my info in the chat. We can reach me for more info. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hassan. And so in the remaining time that we have, one of the other advantages of networking is also learning about each other, creating that relationship. And we can still do that through digital means. So I'm going to go around again, but I'm going to ask you to respond to the following question. What opportunity did the pandemic present for you, for your business, for your industry, for your clients? How did you maneuver through the pandemic? So we will begin with Tomas.
Kind of put me on the spot here, of course. Thank you, Anita. I think, so the pandemic has been, no question, something really difficult to handle. Like, I don't believe that anybody was really prepared for it. Actually, nobody from my generation or younger generation had experienced anything like that before. I mean, you can argue that a few years ago we had something similar with the H1N1, but that was definitely nothing even close. So it is something, it's new territory. From the healthcare perspective, which is what I represent, I think it's been challenging, but also at the same time, the silver lining is that he has been pushing boundaries on things that probably would have taken years to develop, and looking for different ways of providing care to patients, different ways for physicians to practice, different better ways for partnership with the health authority and other community partners to actually think holistically on what we can do to support the population. So I actually believe that the change has been significant, although may not be perceived as that, because we are still in the midst of it. So there is always this reactive mindset of, well, we're not doing enough, we need more. But in reality, when you actually see the overall picture, there have been like significant changes that I'm young in the healthcare sector. I've been in the healthcare sector as a part of the system like 10 years, but that I haven't seen in 10 years, just to be quite honest and blunt about it. And as a patient also, like I can also say that. So there are significant changes that we will be able to leverage as we continue going and we get a hold of and control better what is going on with the pandemic and the vaccination and getting people kind of back to a certain normality. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you, Tomas. So we'll go to John and then Julia.
Thank you for giving me a moment to think of my answer. Two things I can think of opportunities during the pandemic. One, you might have noticed in my talk, the opportunity to talk about mental health with employers is a lot more there. They're a lot more open to it. I'm noticing a lot less stigma around the conversation, a lot more opportunity to add those programs to the plan to support employees. It's a lot more prevalent out there and people are talking about it more, which is a good thing. So that has been an opportunity. Also, the rapid adoption of technology. In my industry, the insurance companies seem to change at the speed of a glacier, but they had no choice but to really implement some good technology things, what makes doing business easier for our employee, for our staff and also for our clients. Yeah, so those are two things that have helped our industry.
Thank you, John. Julia, and then Greg Muirhead.
Awesome. So with Veza Global being an equity, diversity, and inclusion company, about probably before COVID, the conversation was what is EDI and how do we embed those equitable practices in our company? So that was kind of like the communications was like, what is it? But especially after the pandemic, especially after like the Black Lives Matter movement happening, is companies are coming to us being like, what do I do? Like, what are some actionable recommendations or actionable steps that we can do to embed these practices? So the pandemic and like the Black Lives Matter movement really highlighted the work that we do at VEZA. So yeah, that was definitely a big opportunity. And the EDI space right now is booming. People are really wanting to, you know, create those equitable opportunities for everybody, regardless of age, sex, gender, backgrounds, economic beginnings. So yeah, I think that the pandemic really highlighted that opportunity. Thank you.
And we're noticing a lot of diversity and inclusion positions that many companies are hiring for to really ensure those principles are in place. So yeah, you're right. Greg and then Ramona.
Thank you, Anita. Actually, the pandemic has opened up a number of opportunities for us because our business is all about communications, for the customers being able to communicate to sales reps and for people in their own business to communicate with each other. And with a lot of people deciding to work from home now, it's nice to be able to give them a telephone extension from their home desk that they can put on their home desk, and yet they're still part of the telephone system in the office. But also, if they don't want to do that, using cell phones works the same way. And so the pandemic has actually opened up a lot of opportunities for us because people always want to be in communications. And with the advent of remote workers and cell phone packages, we're able to combine it all together and really help and enhance the communications.
Very true. Ramona, and then Frank.
Well, what I saw is so much more need in the community, especially the lack of affordable housing and housing for the homeless. It's just terrible, all the homeless out on the street, especially during the cold. So I've joined the 50 Women of Options along with Anita, and we are raising $1.5 million to build affordable housing and housing for those in need at King George and 81st Street. So please check us out at options.org, 50 Women of Options, and please donate whatever you can, even if it's just a few dollars, because every little bit helps. And I know Anita will appreciate it, and we all certainly will. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Ramona, if you could put the link in the chat function, that would be great too. Thanks for mentioning that. And thanks for your good work. Frank, and then we'll go to Mark Taylor.
Thanks, Anita. I suppose the consulate, for my job is to get out and meet people and network and attend events, attend receptions and hold events, hold receptions. So it's been a complete different change. You can't do any of that. So we've moved online, of course, and it's virtual. But that has one great advantage in that geography does not matter anymore. So Anita, when you talk at the consulate's business breakfast on 7:30 Thursday, March the 4th, you will be able to, everybody can join in from all parts of BC. So we find that the Irish community in Cologne or Prince George or Victoria, they're more linked in now to everybody, and it's more inclusive. And likewise, when we hold the Ireland Canada Business Association link in with the Surrey Board of Trade, it's international. So you're going to have business people, Canadian business people in Ireland, talking to Surrey Board of Trade business people. It'll be evening in Ireland, it'll be morning here, but we would never even have thought of doing that before COVID-19, being perfectly honest.
Very true. Looking forward to those events.
Oh.
Mark, and then we will go to Nate.
So, it's interesting. I've been managing virtual teams for over 15 years now, and I've learned the good and the bad and the ugly of running virtual teams, keeping people on task, connection, data security challenges, etc. And so with the onslaught of the pandemic here, and John, you referenced that, everybody's had to adopt the remote access, new technology in a very short time period. And I can guarantee you there's gaps. And so the opportunity is for me to share my lengthy expertise in this with the Surrey Board of Trade members and to help them and guide them through whatever challenges they may be facing. I do this free as part of my membership with the Surrey Board of Trade. If there's needs or technology challenges that you're facing, I'm more than happy to help out. But primarily what I want to do is make sure that everybody's working safely, that their data is secure, and that they're not going to get ransomware, because I can guarantee you ransom attacks will cost you way more than setting things up properly and doing it right the first time. And it kind of scares me a little bit that everyone's adopting all this technology, and I don't know if they know what they're doing. I'm sure you do, John, but everyone else. Anyway, that's my soapbox right there.
Cybersecurity, very important.
It
Thank
is.
you so much, Mark. Nate, and then we'll go to Deborah.
Get a password manager, right, Mark? Yeah, so the pandemic, the Neil Squire Society has been dealing with people with disabilities, mostly physical disabilities, for almost 4 decades, helping them with employment, digital literacy with computer training, and our superpower is assistive technology. So the bad news for a bunch of our clients was whenever there's an economic downturn, often, not always, but often, a person with a disability that might have been a late hire or a hire through a wage subsidy program may be the first to be let go. So that we saw a lot of that at the start. The good news is, however, businesses around the world, and especially in our very large country and large province, have realized that people can work from home. They can be productive. They can be an excellent part of a team. And well, we would never lump all of our clients with disabilities into one bundle, because we don't do that. But if it's somebody where mobility or getting to and from work was a real barrier, or commuting from Surrey or Langley was a 2-hour journey both ways, that maybe now has been removed from the equation. So if there's a benefit there, it's this ability to work from anywhere and be a productive team member. So that would be what I'd have to say.
Thank you, Nate. Deborah, and then Sammy.
So over time, we developed a niche in international education and focused on Asia. And so every year we go to a big trade show in the fall in Asia. And we, of course, are shoulder to shoulder with our clients and prospects, and have taken it for granted how easy it was to pick up new clients on an annual basis from that event. And while a niche is interesting and it's good and healthy, I believe that having a diversified portfolio in our clients keeps us sharp and keeps us creative. So I've been wanting to keep more diversified, but again, have just been leaning on kind of the easy, low-hanging fruit. So this really pushed us to diversify more in our market, to work with local organizations. Of course, everyone locally, not everyone, but a lot of organizations were behind on where they should be with their digital marketing. We took a service that was really popular with our educators, which is developing their digital marketing plan. And now we have one for small and medium local businesses, and it's taking off. So it's presented a great opportunity for us.
Thank you, Deborah. Sammy, and then Terry.
Thank you, Anita. Our mandate as a company is to help artists do what they love. So prior to COVID, one of the ways we helped artists was through live performance opportunities. We were managing 4 different live venues over the Lower Mainland. And once, right before the government order, we decided to pull all the live music because we didn't want to enable the gathering of people and enable the virus. That same day, we decided to shift from an entertainment agency to become predominantly an artist development and media company, and start enabling artists to develop their content, which we can do virtually. All of our music lessons now became virtual, and the blessing in it was we've been wanting to get out of the predominantly the live music world for years. So this was like the kick in the butt to actually go and become that media company. And we went and we actually just finished up a series with the City of Surrey and the Surrey Board of Trade for the Music City Surrey Showcase, which highlights 10 Surrey artists and educators. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen that online, but you can go to our YouTube channel and watch 10 episodes that highlight some of the amazing talent that Surrey has to offer. So it was a blessing for us.
Thank you, Sammy. And if you could put your YouTube channel link on the chat function, that would be great too. So Terry, and then go to promotions.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, cancer, the disease, did not stop or pause just because we were in a global pandemic. And it's created a challenging fundraising environment for sure. We're definitely looking forward to the day where we can get back to in-person events and fundraisers and just meeting with donors for coffee, that sort of thing. So we've had to adjust, but it has given us more time to plan for when we are going to be allowed to get back to in-person gatherings.
Thank you. Go to promotions and then Hassan.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so definitely from a promotional branding side of things, there were lots of golf events. There were lots of gatherings and events, and that came to a grinding halt in March. Within 72 hours, I lost pretty much every project I spent a year and a half working on. A little slow in April, but then rebounded with realizing I can support, as I mentioned earlier, with masks and hand sanitizer. I quickly got on to the list at Surrey Board of Trade, who put out a notice to us all saying, hey, if you have any of these products, let us know and we'll put you up on the website. So Anita, thank you for that opportunity during that time. The positive of all of this is what I learned where the essential service companies were, and construction, medical services, retail services, and they still all required, you know, their wearables for their offices, or hoodies and things for the construction sites, and safety vests. And so that kind of kept me going for sure, but it also opened up new opportunities, and you know, one door closes, another one opens, and masks are now a customer of mine that in the future I'll be able to do other things with them because of the relationship that we developed, you know, just trying to help them through the pandemic side of it. And so, yeah, that's how I retooled very, very quickly. And, you know, it became T-shirts that say 2 meters apart and decals for flooring. And so I got into all kinds of things, takeout containers for restaurants that needed, you know, things that they now had to get into that space. So it actually opened up a lot of new customers for me that way. And looking forward to getting back to the events and helping. And I also learned that T-shirts can be made from recycled plastic water bottles, and they're super soft. And so, you know, it was very, very educational session, and things are going well. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hassan, and then Sue.
Okay, so this pandemic, it changed our life totally. So a lot of job seekers get laid off in March and April when pandemic is hit. So we get impacts and we close a little bit. However, all our services become virtual, and most of the client, like most of the workers at work, we see the work from home. And then we support our client again, especially with the employer. They were hiring for healthcare and security companies, and the grocery store, they were hiring a lot back in April and May and June. So now, like we still people using the federal governments like the SERB, or still people in EI. Sometimes they don't need to risk themselves to go back to work. Some of them, they are immigrants and they new and they're looking to start their career in Canada. We still support people and we connect with employers. But not like before, but it's still like we have like some enhancement now with the labor market information. It's like we can still more employer right now hiring than before, and we try our best to cover this gap and provide them with the candidates. So yeah, so we work with many clients. As Nate he said, we work with the disability, we general clients, people in EI, people in income assistance, so single mother, single father. So we try to help all of our job seekers to get connected to work environments. Thank you.
Thank you. Sue, and then Taz.
Yes, thank you. So we're an exercise clinic and we shut down on March 15th. And because of the type of members we have, we were real concerned, of course, that they would regress in terms of their health. such as our patients that are recovering from surgery or cancer treatment and have diabetes and high blood pressure. So within the week, our corporate office created remote programs, and they were customized, which is very cool. And now that we're open, we still provide the remote program and the Zoom Live. For instance, if someone's not feeling well that one day, they can just jump online and Zoom. And then we have one lady who lives part-time in Osoyoos through the summer, and she just did her remote all through there, and now she's back here. And in the future, we see many of our members who used to go south and took leaves, they would now Zoom in live into their session clinic and stay connected with all their friends that live well. So it's been good that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Taz, and then Pat, and then Par, you have the last word.
Great topic. I love that we're focusing on this. For us at Bromwich and Smith, a couple of really neat things happened with COVID. Of course, all of our staff is working from home. We actually had plans to go virtual before COVID. We were sort of fighting with the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy on that, because as you can imagine, with financial situations, you want to confirm the identity of the person and make sure you are speaking to the right person. And we had the technology all figured out from that, where we were getting a lot of pushback. And then March, 16th, 17th, oh, there you are, you're approved. So it's really created an opportunity for us to reach so many more Canadians, who maybe work away for 2 weeks and then they're back in town for a few days and don't have time to come in and have a meeting. The shame and stigma coming downtown, sitting in the lobby, hoping nobody sees you. It's gotten rid of that as well for us. And a really big thing, we just did a survey and 8 out of 10 Canadians said that they support debt forgiveness, which is considerably higher post-COVID than it was pre-COVID. So if anything, this pandemic has, I think, created some empathy around people and their money and their debt and some of the troubles that we get into. So it's been really, really positive. And I've had more opportunities to talk about managing debt than ever in the past, because people are a lot more open to talking about it.
Thank you, Taz. Pat, and then Par.
Hi there. Sammy covered pretty much everything that has been happening with Fusion Presents since the pandemic. As you know, the music industry has been somewhat decimated by the lack of venues and being able to gather. Sammy and the crew have done a fabulous job of bringing music lessons to people virtually, and it saved parents, a lot of time and energy having to get kids to places for music lessons. And it allows Sammy to provide more music lessons because he's not traveling as well. He's also been able to keep up the Sunday night jam, which was something that was very important to a lot of people, and that has continued. So it's just been a great thing for people to be able to be a part of, because it allows people to continue creating their music, and it allows Fusion Presents to showcase some artists in the community. So they've done a fabulous job of embracing all of this, as opposed to being, decimated by it. So it's been a great thing. Thanks.
My husband is one of Sammy's students learning how to play guitar. So Par, you have the last word.
Excellent. So I will touch base with kind of what John and Mark had pointed out, was technology. Pre-pandemic, I enjoyed the face-to-face filling out the application, whether it be for life insurance or group benefits, and I enjoyed it. And so when pandemic hit, I was reluctant to go electronic with either the applications or anything like that. And what I realized was, then I had to pivot, shift, or change, whatever the term we want to use. And I went electronic. I realized, wow, this is so much better, time efficient, easier. You're saving travel time. It's faster to get applications approved. And so the opportunities created now is geography. There is no boundaries within the province now. We can go anywhere. We can talk to anybody that we like. So that has really opened up business for us now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Par, and thank you to S+F Benefits for sponsoring today's Business Networking at Noon. And remember, the accountability is on all of you to follow up with each other. And don't forget to check out Canada's first COVID-19 playbook for business, available on our website at businessinsurrey.com.